Hey everybody, and welcome to the next review of comics. The shorts weren't working out, so I'm just going to review comics as I read them, day by day. A couple times a week I'll come in here and tell you all about the books I read. They'll all be, well, they won't all be, but most of them will be recent purchases, recent stuff you saw on the new shelf. And sometimes it'll be runs that I saved up and read all at once, in which case maybe you'll buy the trade paperback. So anyway, let me if you remember, my last video was about Woodstake, and I did get around to reading the final 2 issues. In my last video I reviewed and flipped through number 0, number 1, number 2, and number 3. So if you missed that, you can go back and watch it, or just know that there is a vampire at Woodstock. And this is issue 4, which I just read yesterday or last night, whatever. And as I showed you before, these are just, it's gorgeous painted comic. The artwork by Felipe Kroll, excellent stuff. He asked me, he looks like this guy here looks like Red Foreman from that 70s show. Tell me he wasn't the model for that guy. So these kids are trying to stay away from the vampire still, and you'll have to read it to get all the backstory, of course. I'm not going to tell you everything, but the deputy, the doc, is a descendant of Van Helsing, and he's the only one that really knows what's going on. And he gets the deputy to help him out since the sheriff is being mind controlled by the vampire. And meanwhile, all these kids are at Woodstock, and so there's a few close things. They find the nest, and there the vampire's feeding with the ones he has changed. And then the final episode with one of an awesome freaking cover. Jimi Hendrix, one of the guitar greats. Just a wonderful cover, man. I'd like to see that without the trade dress, just framed and on my wall. That'd be awesome. So don't take the brown acid. The name of this chapter is Purple Haze, chapter 5, and this is the final issue of the miniseries. And good stuff happens. I won't spoil it for you. Yeah, in case you don't know, the good guys kind of win, almost, maybe. We'll find out in October when Woodstake 99 comes around. So, you know, I guess there will be another vampire, or maybe this guy just went back in hiding. You know, Jimi Hendrix is here closing out the festival. He makes a cool little cameo. And yeah, so we'll find out what happens at the riots. I wonder if the riots are caused by the vampires. That's how Woodstock 99 goes down. I'm sure, I bet you it'll be the kids of these guys that were in this book. We'll see. I know I loved it, and I highly recommend it. If you don't pick up the floppies, I'm sure they'll have a trade paperback out any time now. At least I hope so. Then I read Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm still not through watching it. I think I'm on episode 5 right now. Kind of lame, and maybe I'll get back to it after I watch Daredevil tonight, because tonight Daredevil's on, you know. And it's been good. I'm enjoying it. I don't care what other people say. I don't listen to other people. I enjoy what I like. And if you like what I like, then listen to what I like and check it out. See how that works? Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. with Norman Osborn on the cover. And it's fun, man. There's this cute little scene here with Peter going down the hallway trying to dodge and avoid everybody blocking the hall. You know how crowded the halls were in high school. Well, if you went, you know how crowded the halls were in high school. So yeah, you see he pulls this little move where he dips and dives and dodges and bounces off the locker, and the coach sees him. Sweet Barry Sanders. What an exclamation. So he wants him to try out for the football team, blah, blah, blah. And Peter, of course, considers it, but after a little fight with the enforcers, we get a little too close to family, maybe. He realizes it's maybe best if he doesn't make the football team. And he kind of modifies his suit a little bit. He got some new eye lenses, so we see the familiar eyes coming on. And he got rid of one of the tanks and modified his web shooters a little more. And he come up with this, I think maybe he should have went with the smiley face one, but he decided to eliminate the smiley face and just go with what I recognize as the spider tracer. But he said it on the front of his shirt, so apparently that's going to be his symbol for the time being. And that was good. Now, what was this ad back here? For the new thing. I think it's a mini-series, new thing mini-series, and look who's writing it. Tony Flex. Stray Dogs. Feral. Cool. I'm in. But, yep. Read Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man if you're into that kind of stuff. It's a nice, cool take on Spider-Man. Now, of course, one of my favorites, if you know me at all, then you know I love Uncle Scrooge. I love DuckTales. Stoked that Dynamite has picked it up and is making this wonderful series. I read this. It's just so well done. I got to give them credit. I mean, I don't particularly recognize. I think they're using writers that have actually written Disney Duck stories before, but maybe Great Legend or somebody could leave a comment and let me know. Is Brandon Montclair somebody that's done and Rhonda Tommaso Rhonda? But yeah, anyway, starts out with Scrooge locked up with the Beagle Boys. And then we flash back to where Scrooge and Huey, Dewey, and Louie are going into some caverns underneath Duckburg. And the kids are like, why aren't we in another country? Why aren't we flying away on a big treasure hunt? And Scrooge is trying to show them that there's cool stuff right here in Duckburg. And as the writer promised, the first, I guess, 4 or 5 issues are in Duckburg. And I have this, like, it's almost like he flashes back, and the flashback, and I like this. This is cool. The flashback is a 1-page gag. And there's your flashback. And then we get this cool double-page spread where we've got Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Uncle Scrooge tunneling through the mines to try to find the, crystals that they're looking for. And meanwhile, the Beagle Boys and Ma Beagle are escaping from prison. And, of course, guess where they're just about to meet up at. So Scrooge readies his pickaxe and on the count of 3 say, pay dirt. And he slams into it. The wall comes down and there's the Beagle Boys and Ma Beagle, and they have a little face-off, and then the ceiling collapses, splitting them up into 2 groups. Ma Beagle with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Scrooge with the Beagle Boys. Ha ha, what a twist. It's pretty funny. So then we have another one, or actually I guess it's a 2-page gag that shows how this happened. And then we've got Huey, Dewey, and Louie thinking they tricked Ma Beagle into going to rescue Scrooge and her Beagle boys, when all along she says, look at them, just like my own boys, lying to their Ma Beagle. It warms my heart. She knows they're lying, but she wants them to lie because that's good in her book. So they get to the prison, and we'll go from there. Boop. Looks like they're going to hook up with Launchpad and head out to Duckburg next issue. We shall see. Of course, this comes with my highest recommendation. Goes without saying, but you probably don't care. Probably don't read that stuff. But how about this stuff? Justice League International, or Unlimited, I mean. JLU. Mark Waid. One of his better things. So this is good. I'm really liking it as well. I guess I'm easy to please, you know. Of course, I'm not buying the stuff that I don't like, so you're not going to see me go, well, this is terrible, unless I buy something to try it out, which I do make that mistake sometimes. But yeah, you gotta love this. They're still fighting the Inferno. This is it's not the final part of the story arc, but the penultimate climax with a huge guest appearance by the presumed dead Swamp Thing. And Tiffy Holland also. If you know, Tiffy is that Swamp Thing's daughter. There she is, escorting Aquaman into the green. Now what Aquaman is doing in a world full of, and there's Swampy. Fixing everything. Putting the fires out. Maybe. We'll find out next issue how it concludes up. But yeah, I recommend this as well as the next one, The Question. Both of them kind of go hand in hand. There's a couple more that fit in with it, but decided not to pick those up. I have a budget and I'm enjoying these as they are. I don't need Project Adam right now. Maybe I'll get the trade paperback. But yeah, here we have our good buddy. Oh, there he is. Cyborg Superman. And he is taken over the Watchtower and brought it to life. It has a mind of its own. Its floors can reach out and try to grab the occupants, the heroes. So they're having a rough time of it. And The Question is the only chance. And with the help of a bunch of other B-list superheroes. Come on, it's Blue Beetle, what can you say? I guess Batwoman ain't exactly B-lister either. But yep, they do manage to get things headed in the right direction. We'll find out, because it don't look good at the end here. And considering the next issue is called Death by Suicide Satellite, that's kind of scary. And last but not least, certainly not one of the least covers. It actually may be the least in terms of story, but that's still not a bad thing, because all the other stuff I've shown you was, you know, top notch, over the top, excellent. So, you know, this may not be quite up to par with them. It does take place, turns back the clock to when the X-Men were in the Savage Land. And Rogue's story with this beautiful J.S. Campbell variant cover. And she's hooked up with Eric Magneto. She calls him Eric. And with Simba, the kitty cat. And they're going to find Kazar. And they do. And he's about to be sacrificed or some crap. How the hell do these weirdo guys capture Kazar? So he gets rescued, and now he's a part of the party. And we'll see how that party continues next week, because the writing is easy to read, goes by quick, nothing complicated. Seeley, yeah, that's who wrote it, Tim Seeley. So yeah, that's the comics of the night. I read quite a few last night. All those were read in one night. How about that? So, where did I put my camera? Oh, there you are. So, yeah, all those were read in one night, and I'm going to read some more tonight, so look for maybe some more reviews tomorrow or the next day. In the meantime, don't forget Monday night's trivia, 9 o'clock Eastern.